Hi there everyone, I'm Frankie and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw this Omanyte. Right, so the Pokemon that I'm going to be drawing today is an Omanyte. My first approach to doing this sort of thing is I will look at the Pokemon and I will try to compare it to a real life creature. For example, when creating the Slowpoke here, I sort of combined a hippo and a salamander, that sort of thing. Now clearly an Omanyte is based on an Ammonite, which is a type of creature that used to live on Earth during the time of the dinosaurs and such. It was a type of mollusk that lived in the seas, and I think it's like one of the most iconic looking fossils that you can find. So that's what we're going to be primarily basing it off of, and actually these have a little illustration on the front of these, I didn't realise, so that's pretty handy. So yeah, we're going to be making an Omanyte look slightly like that. Now the first thing that I normally do with this is I go into my trusty pencil case and get out my technical pencil, is that what they're called? I can't remember. And I'll do a loose sketch. You can, I'm just going to do a sort of side on, maybe a 3/4 view. So we're going to do the circle of the shell, but we're going to be looking at it from about 3/4, and we want to make sure it's a 3D shape. So we're going to make it into a cylinder instead. Now this is by no means the best cylinder in the world. So this will be the main body of the shell, and we can say we will make this area here the opening where the tentacle bits and the eyes come out. Okay, and then we're gonna sketch in where that will go. Then this will be the rest of the shell here. We can add the lines, the nice pattern that goes round. Now on Ammonites, the creature that this is obviously based on, these rings represent how old the creature was, which is quite interesting. So yeah, let's add some tentacles. Clearly it has two slightly larger ones on the sides, so let's add those. It'll be sort of like an old sensei sort of look from a dojo or something, with its long wiry mustache. Then we'll add another one. Can add some smaller ones coming out the side, maybe. For the eyes, I'm thinking, you know how octopuses will have eyes that sort of just look like that, like on the side of their head, like a nipple. I think I might give it that kind of eye. No, this is fine, or we can erase this if we don't like it. It does look like a bit of a nipple, doesn't it? But no, I think that works. It doesn't look as friendly as the original Pokemon. It kind of looks a bit dead, almost. Let's open up the shell a bit more to make it look more 3D. Okay, now that's it for the basic pencils. Now this process doesn't take very long at all. I am next going to use where's my beautiful brush pen? Can't remember off the top of my head what brand this is, but I can find out if anybody's interested. This is just A5 card, by the way. Oh wait, it's an A6. No, I think it's A5. No, it's A6. Yeah, okay. So the key with using a brush pen is to keep it light and not be afraid to turn a page, but we want to, all the lower lines that are going to carry some weight to them, we want them to be thicker than the lines on the top, where not only will the load be lighter, but also physical light will be touching it, so you don't want it to seem as dark. Okay. Now I may time lapse this bit, just so you don't, just so I don't have to talk through the whole thing. Well, the next thing to do is just to rub out the pencil lines, and this is always a bit of a scary process, because if you haven't left it long enough, the ink can and will smudge. But that's only if you're using a brush pen. You could use fine liners, a biro, you could just do it all in pencil. It doesn't really matter what you use. A brush pen is just my preferred instrument. So, yes, as you can see, I screwed up a little bit. I didn't really take into account the coil with this bit that goes over the head, and therefore they've kind of separated as if though this is a separate tube. And you know what, I don't mind it. It kind of adds more character to this creature and doesn't just make it a straight up Amanyte, which is good because it's not meant to just be a real life creature. It looks more realistic now due to the added texture and stuff, but it doesn't want to be entirely based on a real creature. So the next stage is going to be adding the colour, and again, this doesn't matter what you use, but I'm going to show how I do it, which is using pro markers. You could use any alcohol based marker or any form of colouring for that matter, as long as you just follow the basic sort of principles I'm going to use. So let me just get those. Okay, so looking at the Omanyte, we can see it's mainly the fleshy bit is a nice blue, which I'm going to use a China blue for. And when you're picking your colours, you want to try and pick a darker colour as well to act as a shadow, which I'm just going to go for the, this doesn't even have a proper name on it, just a darker blue will act as my fleshy shadows. Now the actual shell, we could go with a yellow, or we could go with a more skin tone colour, but I think I am going to go down the yellow route. We're going to go with saffron as the main colour, I think, and then maybe we could add a green or something as a shadow, because though yellow when darker isn't technically green, yellow makes green, so it won't look that far off. Let's go with this meadow green, okay? So for those of you that don't have alcohol markers, completely fine. Just make sure you're following the basic principles, which is pick your base colour and a darker version of that colour to use as a shadow. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to cover all the fleshy areas in this China blue. Now this, looking at it straight away, it could be too dark, but it does not matter, we'll just see how it goes. The pen that I use for this, I'm very lucky in that the ink does not smudge when mixed with alcohol based markers, because the ink that used to be in this pen, I recently replaced it. the ink that used to be in it, that would bleed a lot once you use alcohol markers over the top. So I used to have to colour before inking, and that was proper pain. So I'm just going to demonstrate how I do the colour just on this bit, and then I'll time lapse the shell. So yeah, there's the basic colour there, and then we look at everything that could be under shadow. Now this should be overhanging on the creature's forehead, so I want to add a line of darker blue there to create a shadow from it. We're just going to imagine there's a shadow coming straight down. This tentacle overlaps the smaller one, so a tiny little triangle of it there. You can apply this to each of the tentacles where it comes into contact with another one. This really adds a sense of depth and make it seem more 3D. I'm going to do it under the eyes as well, because they're not just flat, they sort of come off the head a bit. I'm going to do that entire tentacle there, maybe even a little bit on that one. Now you see how, because it's an alcohol marker, the colour is blending slightly at the edges into the previous colour, and that makes for a really nice transition. So yeah, I'm going to time lapse this shell area, and then I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, so this is basically it. This is how I do my Pokemon. If you've never seen my stuff before, I'm doing a series that I've been posting on Instagram for a while, where I'm redesigning the first 151 Pokemon. In some cases they look exactly like they do in the original games and cartoons and whatnot, but in most cases I'm trying to put my creative spin on them, and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, this is my process on how I do that. And then the very last step is taking this elastic band off and getting my number 5 fine liner. Is it going to be the one that I just dropped? No, it's this one. Okay, the very last one. Nice. And then I find out what number Pokemon this is. Luckily it says that on the card. It is number 138. So... oh, that's strange. The last one I did, haven't been doing these in number order, but the last one I did was Polygon, and that was a number 137. So 1, 3, 8, and then we just write its name underneath. Omanyte. Okay, and then that is ready to add to the collection. Nice. So thank you for watching that. I hope you liked it. I had fun drawing this, and as you see, it's quite a quick and simple process. I would love to see what you guys come up with if you want to draw an Omanyte yourself, or any Pokemon in that matter, following the process I did. Please share, it'd be great. Now it's the boring stuff where I tell you other places I am, which is on Instagram at FrankieDraws. I also have a Patreon, which I can link to in the description below. And yeah, I want to hear your feedback. What do you think of my first video on this? Well, my first video in a few years, at least. Would you like to see more stuff like this? Suggestions for other types of videos I could do? And I would really appreciate a like or a subscribe. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you later.